Welcome to DCxPC Live Presents Scene Support, the podcast that spotlights the people behind the scenes who keep DIY and underground music alive. From the bookers and the sound techs to zine writers and venue operators, we're here to give credit where it's long overdue. I'm your host, Scott Pasch, founder of DCxPC Live, a DIY label putting out short-run vinyl of live punk, hardcore, ska, and metal shows. After decades in bands and behind the scenes, I know the work it takes to keep a scene going, and today's guest is one of those people doing that work week in and week out. This week on Scene Support, I sit down with Hudson Valley punk mainstay Bobby Edge, and that's his real name. I've always known Bobby as a musician, but lately he's been carving out a whole other lane as a sound engineer, recording more and more bands across the local scene and beyond. We talk about how he made that shift, what he's learned from being on both sides of the mic, and why DIY recording matters so much right now. Bobby's already worked with bands like Hell Beach, Soft Spot, General Grievance, People's Club, Muddy Sneakers, We're in Our 30s, and plenty more, and he's just getting started. Let's talk about building a DIY recording community, balancing life as both a musician and engineer, and what drives him to keep shaping the sound of the Hudson Valley scene and beyond. How you doing, Bobby?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I hope that was a decent introduction for all your awesomeness.
That was great. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Super nice.
So like I said, I've known you as Bobby Edge, guitarist in various bands, singers in various bands. And I don't think I even realized that you were recording people. And I did a show at Hell Beach, and the new album's great. Was that your album?
So I tracked mostly all of it.
Wow.
I did the tracking and the editing. I didn't do the guitars or the keyboard. They did those themselves. The mixing was done by Reed Wolcott in L.A. and actually mastered by a friend of mine, Dan Coutant. He's a very talented guy, and I think with all those things together, it turned out to be like a super killer record. Not to mention that the band is incredibly talented, very professional, and awesome just to be around and to work with in that environment.
I might just have to change this to the Hell Beach podcast, because I was talking about them with Brent the other day from Exponential Booking, because he was going on about them. They're from New Hampshire, and you're in New Paltz, or Newburgh.
Yes.
So how did you connect with them? How did they say, of all the engineers in the world, we're going to leave New Hampshire and head to Newburgh, New York, and we're going to record with Bobby Edge, who is not straight edge. He just has that as his actual last name. I'm just not going to.
Yes.
I'm not going to let that go.
It's fine. So what happened was I heard their first EP, and I was drunk as hell. And
that's not straight edge.
I was like, oh my god, this sounds amazing. This is these songs are so great. I would love to get these guys in. And the first tour I ever did was, maybe 10 or 11 years ago. The drummer of the other band that was on tour with us is Corey from Hell Beach. So I've known him since then. I first met him on that little 2-week little stretch I did. His band he was in a band called OC45. They went and did the big old 2.5 month kind of.
I think I've seen them.
Thing.
Yeah.
So I heard their stuff, and before they did this, they were in Corey and Jordan were in a band called Secret Spirit. And I got to see them in Gainesville. I don't know why they broke up, because they were fucking awesome too. But I was just drunk, and I was like, man, you know what? Let me shoot my shot. And I hit up Corey, and I was like, hey man, I'm starting to record bands at my friend's place. His name's John Niclario. If you guys want to come, I would love to have you and do it. And he was like, oh my god, I love John Niclario. My Chemical Romance is one of my favorite bands ever. And I was like, well, holy shit, man, let's do it.
Wow. Okay. So you just took that shot in the dark, which is kind of a brilliant way to do it. I remember when I reached out to Amberetta, I was like, hey, I noticed you all just put out this digital album that's live that never came out on vinyl. I'm waiting to go into my therapist's office to discuss my grief counseling. While I'm doing that, I figured I'd go ahead and see if I could feel better by sending you this email and see if you want to put out a record. And now I've done 2 records by Amberetta plus Inquisition. I was like, look at that. You never know.
It's awesome. The worst anything anybody could ever say to you is no.
Yeah. And I've had some no to me so many times. I think that's just the same way with everything from being in a DIY band. You're booking a tour, I was like, You just keep asking, and eventually you're going to find someone that's going to say yes and let you do something.
Somebody will let you play in their, like, if you run out of places, somebody will let you play in their, like, garage or their basement eventually.
Yep.
You know,
You keep
and
finding
shows, a lot of times, like, can end up being better than, like, a venue show.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so back to this recording. You did it at someone else's studio. Do you have a studio, or do you always go to someone else's studio when you do tracking?
So, I'm in my home studio right now. As you can tell, it's very neat and organized. Yes. There's not just like shit everywhere, and there's actually a nice. Will this lean down? Oh, there's actually a nice hat on this. That's one of my banners.
Wow.
But hang on, I gotta pull this guitar back.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, my room is all mostly books from my doctoral program, so I'm just surrounded by books everywhere in my office.
Sure. It's probably like $1 bajillion worth of education there.
A lot of them I've checked out. I have to return eventually. I keep hitting renew all over and over again. I feel like I've had some of these books for 2 semesters. I think I checked out a book today that I already have because I didn't realize I already had it because I have so many fucking books. I saw the cover and I was like, oh, shit.
I mean, that happens. But yeah. I do all my like mixing and mastering from my home studio here. I can track like pretty much vocals, guitar, whatever here. I don't really have a place to do drums yet. I'm trying to figure out how I can set it up. So whenever I do drums, we'll either do like a hybrid of here and not a recording studio.
Okay.
My friend John McClario
Yep.
owns, and he's kind enough to let me like rent the space, and it's nice. I've gone from like, oh man, don't let that guy in here, to like actually I've grown up, and it feels good. Like I'm a professional, but listen, I still know how to have fun. I think it's really cool, and it was a big push that John made to me. He's like, yeah, come bring him in. He's like,
not as great.
And you in there, and
I think they recorded like RBNX and recorded it Nada. I think Trouble Bound. So like not as really well known in this area.
Oh yeah. John is like a local legend.
Yeah. So like I get it. You play guitar. You probably play bass. Every guitarist at least pretends to play bass, right?
Well, you know what? I've put so much more time into playing bass now and touring on bass and everything that it's probably my main instrument now.
That's fascinating because I still think of you as a guitarist. Okay, so now I have to retrain myself. First, now I have to think of you as a sound engineer, and then I got to make you a bass player. Dude, you're killing me, man.
Well, listen,
killing me.
I can't stop. I have a problem. I need to.
You have a problem.
Yeah.
So here's my question then, right? Like, I get it. You're in your home studio. You're learning how to track. You've been practicing with yourself tracking guitar. Where did you learn to track the drums? Because as a drummer, I have had so many different people record me, both in studios and live, and sound people. Like, where did you learn to? How did you figure out how to track? How did you get the practice?
You know what? Yeah, that's just trial and error.
Yeah.
For the most part, but that's why I like doing it Nada. I know the room.
Yeah.
The kit's always in the same spot, and I'll still experiment when we're sitting down. Like I like to mostly mess with the kick and the snare because those are the two most important elements.
Sure.
I like to make sure that we get a nice source recording of everything. I don't know if people will be upset about this, but sometimes I do use like samples, not to replace, but to just add like an extra layer of sound and tone to things. I never want to strip away what is your real performance. And like even when it comes to editing, I'll kind of, unless it's like an egregious error, I'm not gonna. And like maybe I caught it in the editing process and we can't go back, but I generally like to keep things tight and live sounding as best as I can, for better or worse. I just want to deliver exactly what the band is asking for.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I run a live record label and I try not to overdub. Every now and then there's a band that's like, look, we really want this song to be on the album, but like here it's just not like. it wasn't like I was getting bumped around in a pit where I messed up. Like, it's just fucking, it needs, like, I just need to overdub that, like, 15
like
seconds. And I'm like,
frog in my throat
I was like, I hate it, but it does happen, you know, now and then, minor amounts. But, like, I don't want to, like, turn it into some sort of overproduced schlock. It's supposed to be a live album.
Sure,
but at the same
absolutely.
time, if I have to overdub 15 seconds to make sure that the best song that the band did live shows up on the record,
yeah.
I'm not going to, like, be such a bastard about that.
I don't think there's anything, you know, so wrong with just touching things up a little bit. You don't need to go overboard.
Yeah.
You know, I think personally, as long as you have a good source recording of everything,
Yep.
a lot of stuff you can just bring out or, you know, take away with like EQ and compression.
Well, that's one of the reasons,
That's
like...
mostly what I use in like my plug-in chain
Yeah.
and everything.
I mean, there's a lot of studio magic. That's one of the reasons, like, when bands will reach out to me to say they want me to do a live album, I was like, I really need to see you live. And they're like, why? I was like, a lot of bands can sound good on a studio recording, but I need to see if you can actually perform. And I don't mean perform with, like, technical skill, per se, but I mean perform with the sort of energy that I want to come across on an album.
Put on a show, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want it to be a little sloppy if possible, to be honest with you.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
I mean, every band is unique, you know. Like, I love, like, there's a lot to be said for a band that isn't like technically as proficient as another one, but can just fucking whip the crowd up.
Yes.
You know, and get everybody nuts because
Yep.
that's, you know, that's half the gig, you know.
It is half the gig. So, do you ever do live sound as well? Like, do you ever like work as a sound person? Yeah.
Yeah. So I cut my teeth in a place called Seaside Tavern in Stamford, Connecticut, so many years ago.
Wow. Okay.
This is over like 13, 14 years ago, and it was a drive, but I had a friend who I went to college with who was working there, and he was like, "Yo, does anybody want this gig? It pays like I forget what, like $100 and something a night. All you got to do is fucking do this." And I was like, "Yeah, you know, I've been looking to
Learn how to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to do a lot of cool shit there that I didn't think was gonna happen. Like I had to do sound for Murphy's Law a couple times.
Fuck
That
yeah.
is really tough to do inside of a bar.
Yeah.
Most of it was just trying to make sure that the everything stayed plugged in. And at a certain time, you just like give up and like you get past the Jägermeister, and I'm like, I'm just part of the show now.
Yep.
But that's what's those guys are like super nice and like fun to work with. Though I like them. And what's his name? Thomas Pridgeon. He was the drummer for Mars Volta, and like one of his groups came in, and I got to do sound for their band. And I've never seen a man smoke so much marijuana in my life and then get on stage and then just play these crazy polyrhythms all over the place. And I was like, "Hey, do you need anything special on stage?" He's like, "Nah, just a monitor with kick." I was like, "Damn, this is a certified pro. This guy's."
I mean, I don't ever need a monitor for my own kick. I hear that, but like that's all he needs. He doesn't need bass or vocals.
That's all he wanted. I think maybe like he's just, you know, he sings the song on the drums basically. You know, that's the whole thing. You know, but
that's
from
fucking
there, I got like other gigs. I used to play in a band called Jukebox Romantics, and
I've heard of them. Sorry, obviously.
The guitarist Terry works at the Capitol Theater. He got me a job doing sound at their little small theater next door called Garcia's. Listen, I don't work there anymore, so I'm gonna say it. Like I did mostly Grateful Dead cover bands, and I hated it.
Yeah,
it sucked. Sometimes, you know, I would get a chance to do like a weekend and do like a cool band and shit. But like the main guy there, Mikey, who was super fucking awesome, who I love, was usually on those and taking care of it. And now I occasionally have a gig at the Falcon in Marlboro.
Okay.
I shot one of my music videos there. Again, this was like during the pandemic, and I was just taking shots in the dark. I was like, "Hey man, can I record this music video in your venue? I have like a whole big idea." And he was like, yeah, sure, it's cool. And then, like, I came in and I was, like, working the board, like, you know, getting the sound for everybody and the monitors. He's like, oh, you know what you're doing here? I was like, oh, yeah, I do sound. He's like, oh, yeah, if we ever need anybody, can you give me your number? I'm like, yeah. I just did sound there for a couple of weeks ago. I forget what his name was. It was an artist that has 3 names. I can never remember them, but it was, like, Glenn Allen Davis. This guy from New Orleans. What a thing. His voice was so loud that he would move away from the microphone, and the band would just do this thing, you know, where they would bring down the dynamic, and he was just able to fill the whole place with his voice without even a microphone. And it was, oh man, this guy was killer. He had all the people doing a conga line, like outside and then back in. Oh yeah, I love it. I love doing live sound. It can be stressful. Like, you know, earlier that gig, there's a B3 Hammond organ.
Jeez.
And there's like 3 different cables that hook the organ up to the rotary speaker. And I'm like, which one is it? And I'm like trying, and I'm figuring we would have to call like the guy who repairs it. And I'm like, holy shit, oh my God, I'm having a meltdown. We finally get it going, the show starts going, and it's great. We started on time, everything was fine. But, you know, that's why you showed up at 4 o'clock for a 7:30 gig. As the sound guy, and you know, I do appreciate that. I like being able to be there early, relax, have lunch, have a little just time to relax and figure out what's going on.
So when you did sound, what was like the weirdest instrument you've ever had to like mic, and then you go, how am I gonna fucking mic this? Like an accordion or like a steel guitar? Like Negative Rax has that steel guitar. I've seen World Inferno Friendship Society all the time, and they would have accordions and all sorts of weird shit. Like, how do I even fucking mic this?
I think it's maybe not something that's so weird, but it was something that's so foreign to me. Is one time in Connecticut, we had a guy with a pedal steel.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck do I do with this? Where do I mic this from? And he was just like, usually we just mic from underneath and from the bottom and the top. And I was like, okay, I tried that. And I was like mixing it. And, you know, it took me a little while. But once I figured it out, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense here.
Okay.
Get a nice, like, blend going.
Yes.
Trying to think if there's anything really weird. There must have been something. Well, do you know Cry Havoc?
No, I do not.
They're a punk rock band from Connecticut, and the first time I did sound for them, Johnny comes up to me, the singer, and he's like, I have my own windscreen for the microphone. He's like, is that okay? I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. I was like, why do you need that? He's like, because I bash it into my forehead. And it's so clean. I was like, all right, man, you're cool, man. Just, you know. I was like, that's actually very thoughtful, because I think a lot of like other punk rock guys would be like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah, I think that tends to be the case. I remember I was in a band in D.C. where Controlled Chaos may have been the best way to describe it. And we were a 3-piece, and the mics were on the mic stands, and it get knocked over. And I don't think we ever thought much about how much the mics were getting knocked over onto the ground and possibly trampled. And, you know, I think there were times that we like did break it and had to pay for it. But it didn't exactly stop my front people from still behaving the same way at the next show. It was just sort of...
You could afford to replace, like, what do they have, like a PG-28 with the switch?
I don't know.
So, like,
I'm no good at knowing that. Every now and then, I've had friends that are sound people like, oh my God, they're bashing my really good microphone. I'm like, maybe don't use the really good one in a hardcore show.
Rock bands.
Yeah. They might not deserve it.
Yeah. Also, you don't need the best equipment to make bands sound good. You know, okay. I've been recording it at home. It like started in my bedroom when I was like 14, and that's, I don't know, it's like over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had really shitty things that were just like budget that I get for Christmas or whatever, you know. And like it's all about figuring out how to make it work for you.
Yep. Or
in the situation. You know what I mean? Like you don't need, as I talk into the Neumann TLM 103, who I'm going to be transparent, isn't working with the podcast program, and I'm talking into my iMac, but I decided to keep it here because it Just want to show it off because I'll be done paying it off at the end of 2026.
That's amazing. See, and I need to buy a microphone. Yes, everybody, I know. I've heard the comments. I need a microphone. My voice is already weird enough without not having a decent microphone.
Oh,
I will get one. You know what? Thank you, sir. But like, I put out a lot of records, and all my money goes to that. And you know, on a side note about my voice, I was actually at a bar in Daytona Beach with my dad right after the pandemic at Bike Week, which is not exactly an uncrowded week, right? So I'm at a crowded bar, and this guy walks over to me and he's like, "Your name is Scott. You teach middle school in Orlando." And I was like, "Yeah. I don't know you." He's like, "We met before the pandemic on a cruise. You were sitting at a bar reading a book." And I was like, "That sounds like me." And you told me that George Washington's teeth came from enslaved people. I was like, "Yeah, that's right." He's like, "Yeah, I've never forgotten you." And I was like, "How did you recognize me? Like, I don't even look the same." He's like, "Your voice, it cuts through the..." And I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "All right." I was like, "I guess." Like, it sounds like my voice, but I get...
Well, you have a distinct voice. I wouldn't say that it's, like, irritating or annoying or anything.
I've been told I'm not even allowed to sing backup in, like, my hardcore punk bands. Like, I can't scream fuck properly. Like, it cuts through and ruins the blend.
Let's hear it. Like, come on in. We'll try it.
I'll try it. I'll come in. You can see if you can make it any better.
We'll just do a song where all it is a breakdown and you have to scream fuck.
And I'll just scream for it. And you can teach me to sing, too, because I know you take singing lessons, so you can teach me to sing.
Yeah.
So I'd love to be a singer, but I can't sing.
I think everybody can, to an extent, you know. Yeah. That's one thing that I like about working in the studio is I like when it's time to track vocals.
Okay.
I have so much fun with this. You know, like we had a lot of fun with Hell Beach when we were tracking the vocals. They had just the melodies were already great.
Yes.
So it's like the harmonies just come right there. But then just like getting it, letting like, oh, well, maybe try this one and singing like ooh, ooh instead of ooh, you know, and then like getting them to stack up and doing this whole, you know, I just it's such a satisfying experience once you hear two voices together and it just sounds like this.
Yeah. Do you keep the vocals purely natural? Do you put any sort of effects on them to like help?
I mean,
enhance the sound. I'm sure it changes by band, even maybe by song or even by chorus or verse, right? It can change.
Exactly. As far as like pitch correction is concerned, that's up to the band.
Yep.
If they don't like, I mean, I personally like to use a little bit, just just to move things a little here or there. But my two things that I like to use the most to like make things sound good, it's just reverb and delay. I think those two things in tandem just are great. I use the stock fucking Logic. I forget. It's like reverb design plugin.
Yep.
Which is great. It has a bunch of presets. You just work off the preset and dial in from there. And then I have this Sound Toys Echo Boy. That's fucking awesome. It's great.
Okay.
It's like the best reverb. I don't work for, or it's the best echo or delay plugin. I don't work for them, but you know.
Well, you're going to endorse this fully.
Don't buy it unless it's on sale, because this shit will go on sale. Trust me.
Okay.
And you'll save yourself a lot of money. Just keep your eye out. You know.
So when you did live sound, did you also do those sort of things, or did you just leave it however the person sang it, or did they ever ask for that sort of stuff on their vocals?
It always depends. You know, if I hear, and I won't name names, but if I hear somebody singing, and I'm like, oh shit, this sounds bad, and you know, there's no knob on live sound or anywhere to like make that work.
Yes.
The best you can do is just hit it with the fucking karaoke delay or reverb and delay.
Okay.
And it kind of it'll work, and then you know they'll. But usually I work with people who are pretty good and they have an idea what they're doing. I've worked with a band before at Garcia's where they gave me a list of all the songs that they're playing, which I appreciate this.
Yep.
But then they gave me a list of all the effects that needed to be on the vocals, and then like what the tempo was. so that the delay could be matching with like what they have in there.
Okay.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, but
Yeah.
like in the end, like it makes everything sound like
And that makes sense.
it's you know what, to give them peace of mind and actually just do it. It gives me something to do rather than just like stare at the ceiling while I listen to your terrible cover band. But now that band wasn't bad. I didn't like. I'm not going to tell you who they were, but I didn't like their attitudes. I think they changed their name anyway.
Yep, no, I get that. Well, there was a show I went to a couple months ago. Won't name the band, won't name the venue, but I was super stoked to see them. I'd listened to their stuff. I was ready to go and pick up their vinyl, and I still picked up their vinyl. But they went on stage, and I don't know if the singer couldn't tell how much echo was on their vocals. Like maybe they just didn't notice, but it was so much echo. It was like my kids playing with like their toy karaoke machine, like singing Frozen.
Yeah.
It was so bad, and I was like, this is really disappointing. Like, I had stayed all night just to watch them close out the show, and I was like, wow. And like, you could hear it when they would stop and do stage banter. I was like, come on, you have to hear this.
Oh,
like,
they didn't turn it off in between?
No, it was the whole fucking set.
Oh, man.
And I don't understand
because I hope I had a pedal.
It was not you. I would have told you after. I would have been like, "What the fuck, dudes? Fix this." It's not a venue that I go to often enough, or I know anyone at. But I was like, "Well, that was just very, very disappointing." And
right,
I'm kind of
I want
really
to put a pin in this because I want you to tell me after.
Okay. I'll tell you
okay.
afterwards.
Yeah,
but I'm really picky about effects on vocals. I was driving back with RPM Fest from Aaron from Put Over Photo on the Snorts, and he put on some band, and I was like, ugh, that's the problem with garage bands. He's like, but I was like, they put distortion on the vocals, and I was like, I hate it. I know it's like, what is the phrase, like, getting close to the sound effect, like there's some sort of whatever. I'm like,
yeah, it's just like a little bit of saturation.
I hate it. And he's like, it wasn't even that much, and you picked up on it. And I was like, yeah, and it wasn't the whole song. It was just that part of the song. And I'm like, eh.
I think it works in very small doses.
Yep. And
like, yeah.
It wasn't terrible on that song, but I know I hate it so much that I had to ask. Because I hear bands where that's all the full song's like, the riffs are so great, but why does your vocals have such... Just sing it. I'd rather just hear your natural voice and all that distortion.
Sure.
Stop.
Sure. Oh, I was watching this thing yesterday. I was just like laying in bed, flipping through TikTok or whatever the hell I was looking at, and they were talking about Julian Casablancas' vocals on the first Strokes album.
Yeah.
And he actually just sang it into like an old PV practice amp.
Okay.
And I was like, that's a pretty cool way to achieve that, you know, instead of like, all right, well, how are we going to get this? Well, just give them like a 15-watt practice amp that was made for high school. And
you never know. It's like the first episode I recorded with Don Zientara from Inner Ear Studios, and he told me that they got that effect for the beginning of Stepping Stone from putting the mic under like a crab bucket or shrimp bucket.
Yes,
I was like,
yes, I
really?
remember this.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like...
That stuck with me.
Yeah. I was like, what even made you think to do that?
Just fuck it, try it out, man. Like,
yeah,
you know,
fucking try shit.
If you, like, I was doing a song for like one of my new records, and my buddy Sean Paul is recording it, but you know, John, who owns the studio, he's like, I have an idea. Let's do this. I've been thinking about this. And we just took 2 garbage cans, and we were in the live room just going like, bop, 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 bop. It didn't get used. It sounded like trash.
Yes.
But I love try it. Fuck it. What are you going to do? You're there. Try it.
I mean, I think I'm always constrained by price. So I was like, we only have so much money. We need to do this. I don't think it was until the last band I was in, Call In Dead, where we actually took our time in the studio to actually like record over the course of several weeks and really take the time to make sure everything was good. Like, I've done like 14 songs recorded, mixed, and mastered by my buddy writer from Daycare Swindlers in DC. And it sounded fine. But like, songs were like, one take, how's that's fine. It'll go. Next. You know. I mean, that was kind of how that's what that band was anyway, though.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, that's how I kind of did General Grievance was, I like that, like, we were on the same page already. Like, I know most of them because I grew up with them. We were, like, in the same skate crew together. And I was so excited to get to record them at Nada. But they were like, hey, man, we just want this raw. We're going to play it live in the room. And, like, I would do this thing. I'd be like, all right, I'm not going to save more than 2 takes at a time. Tell me which one you like better, and if you think you could do it again better, we'll go ahead. You know,
okay.
I'm gonna I just like that. I like the idea of that definitive. Like, I'm gonna make this decision now.
So did you record them 100% live, like all 4 of them? Because like,
yes.
Or did you do like often when I do it, it's like everyone does scratch tracks and it's the drums and everyone goes over top of it. But you did it all live.
They came with the tunes. They set up in the live room. We had John just in the vocal booth, and I'd let them run through the song like maybe once or twice before. I would tell them I wasn't recording, but I was recording.
As you should, just in case magic happened.
You know, because everybody gets the red light syndrome. You know, when the red light comes on, it's like, oh, I get it. Like, my fucking brain will just stop as soon as I know that we're recording.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, no, they were great. I had an awesome day with them. I think it came out really good.
Those are the songs that they put up on Spotify in this last couple months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all fucking great, dude.
I was shooting to try to make it sound like this, almost when I was mixing it, I was like, it should sound like Iggy Pop or like that kind of.
Yeah, it has that definitely like
late 70s, early 80s.
Yep, raw power sort of sound.
Yeah.
And John's vocals are just what John's vocals sound like. I was like,
what
his vocals sounded like on that recording? I was like, the first time I heard him live at an Outsider show, I was like, all right, that dude's got a voice that is like very aggressive, but also uniquely so. It's not the standard hardcore bark. It has gravel, but like gravel like I've never heard exactly before. I was like, it's distinct. It doesn't sound like anyone else I can think of.
I feel like you can pick out more of his like enunciation too, just by the way that he sings.
Well, I'll have to send you the live tracks because Greg, who does all the sound at Holly's shows, the Outsider shows. So they just approved the rough mix or the full mix, the final mix that Josh from Danger Room Studios did, and now he's going to go ahead and do the mastering. So that album will hopefully be out probably next year, just based on the schedule of other bands I already have in front of there as we start to do album, blah, 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 blah.
That's very cool. Yeah.
But yeah. And I don't know if they're doing a full live album because their songs are so fucking short.
Yeah.
Or they might decide to do like my Live and Dead Optimus, live on side A and studio on side B. So it's possible that your songs you recorded get on the side B side. I have no idea what they're doing.
I would love that.
I'm sure they told me, but I can't keep track of that shit.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on at any point in time.
I have a master list of information, but to recall off the top of my head, I don't have that ability anymore. I'm juggling too many things at one time. Everything's on a calendar. Everything's on a form. I don't have instant recall.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not out there.
I don't even know what tomorrow is.
But you know,
is it December?
Jesus, everything's coming so fast, dude.
Is it
coming so fast
Day again already? Yeah.
I wish.
I don't know. Look at my eyes. You can see I'm so fucking tired all the time.
Dude, I was dragging ass driving home from Albany. I had to stop and get a 4-shot iced Americano, and then I got another one taking my kid out to buy clothes for school. So I've already had 8 shots of espresso in the last 5 hours, which is why I'm drinking a beer now. Because I'm like, okay, I'm so wired. How am I going to go to sleep? I was like, I am sure there's something a doctor would say is very medically wrong with like pumping myself full of 8 shots and then drinking 2 IPAs to bring me down.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's there's worse things you could do.
I suppose. I was like, So you mentioned like the red light. Like when I do the live recordings, bands freak out all the time, which is why I always tell them it's free. People are like, oh, you should charge for the live recordings. I'm like, well, if I did, then there's the added pressure of money. If I just tell them this recorded live and it's deleted if they don't like it, and they don't even have to, and the songs are theirs, even if they don't work with me to use as they want, it takes all the pressure away. Because I feel that pressure when I'm when I'm on the drum kit. Like I feel it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate recording.
I've been on stage a lot where they were recording, and I was like, I know this is going bad. Mm-hmm. This is going bad.
Yep. And like, you know, like my issue is that, you know, the way we've always done, like doing the drums first is like everyone's just waiting for me. They're doing their tracks, and they're all just dicking around, smoking weed, drinking, and because they're not doing their tracks until tomorrow, and everyone's sitting there watching, like, oh, Scott, you missed that. Scott, I'm like,
You know what? Send them the fuck home. Let the engineer decide that shit. Send them the fuck home. Say, listen, guys. Fucking let him do his job.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, do you do all digital or do you do any analog recording?
Man, I mean, so we're not recording a tape or anything, but
Okay.
you know, when I record at Nada, there's like a ton of like outboard analog stuff. Like he's got a bunch of fucking things I don't even know what the fuck they are. Like he's got a bunch of like the API launch boxes, like preamps and stuff. So the preamps are all going into different places and routed in different ways and everything. So that's where your analog stuff is. But you know, it's all getting recorded into Pro Tools.
Yep.
So, but you can kind of, I don't know, you fool around with it. You know, I in here, I know nobody can see it, but I'm pointing over at it. I have this Pro VLA 2 tube compressor, and it's supposed to be like an affordable version of like a LA2A, if you know what that is, like a compressor from the 60s.
I have no idea. I'm saying yep as if I know, but I have no idea because I play drums.
I mean, this thing, I believe that the LA2A was invented by like a radio host, I forget whom, because like they couldn't, the input signal from the microphone wasn't enough. So they needed something to like drive it further without like making it completely distorted. So they it's cool. I love it. It takes the transients right off the top of anything that's like too sharp, sticking out, kind of compresses down your vocals really nice. I have a Focusrite ISA1 that I love as my preamp. But you know, like these things are analog, but I run them into something digital and then into a computer. So you know, it's like kind of like a hybrid. I like to mix with outboard gear and plugins and see what it is. You know, and to be honest with you, if I were to do something 100% analog, I'd be like way in over my head.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be fucked. If we were supposed to sit there and cut tape, I'd be fucked. I'd be like, after the first session, I'd be like, yeah, I can't do this. I have no idea what the hell is going on. But
yeah, my first recording, 92, 93, we went home with like the reel-to-reel tape afterwards.
The actual
yeah, yeah. And like it's still in my closet somewhere. Like I kept it. I don't know how I was when I got to keep it. Like I'm just the asshole drummer.
That must have been. Was that before the ADAT tapes? Like they had like the tapes to record.
I think we also got it on ADAT, or it might have been the second time we went back. It was Neptune Studios in somewhere Quantico, Virginia, or something like that. So like wait, it was so long ago, and you know that was back when I didn't know that you could double track guitars. And that there was all sorts of things you could do. And I think we did our first tape and didn't master it because Joyce was recording and mastering because we're 16.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we put it out on tape by ourselves and, you know, whatever. We did it. Fuck you. The rest of you weren't doing shit. You were just in high school, like, watching TV. And I paid to go to a recording studio and I recorded songs I wrote it. Yeah, I could have recorded them better but fuck you, I still did it.
Yeah, no, you get the experience.
Yeah.
You know?
But
that's what's important.
World Sucks was recording at Basement Floods recently in like Catskill. And they were doing it to analog tape. Like I saw the tape and everything.
Oh.
And
that'd make me so stressed.
I don't think you had to cut the tape, so I don't know, maybe there's some midway point of doing it.
You see, this is where my knowledge is limited, you know, like I've only, you know, my entry point was a program called Pro Tracks, Cakewalk, that was a knockoff of Pro Tools that I pirated. I mean, I don't.
I get it.
Yeah, no, fuck it, steal that shit. They make too much money. I'm not going to try to act
No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my guitarist in one of my old bands like downloaded from an FTP site or something like that, right? Pro Tools for free. It's fine.
You used to be able to do it. It's like more difficult now. Like Pro Tools has a subscription service.
Those was like 25 years ago.
Yeah. No, those were the. I mean, Pro Tools has a like standalone that you can just buy once. I think you're allowed to update it like 3 or 4 times until. It's all a con.
Yeah.
And every DAW that you're going to use is the same. The tools are just arranged differently, and some have different.
Yeah,
different ones that are a little different here or there. I prefer Logic. That's my favorite.
I've never used that. I used when I used to, and I say use as if I know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. But when I was a teacher, I would make my kids write their own parody songs, and we would record them using Audacity and a microphone on my laptop, and the kids would just write their own lyrics based. Take a song, I'd download the karaoke track, and then they would write a parody song about whatever fucking topic we were learning about Revolutionary War.
Great. That's great.
And Audacity was fine. It was exactly what I needed. It was free. I used Reaper recently. I don't know if you've ever used Reaper.
I have it on all my computers. I don't know how to fucking use it.
I had to teach myself. I flew down to Florida, recorded Florida Underground Fest, hooked my laptop up to like a 64 channel board or whatever, and got it in there. And I was like, okay, how do I record all these tracks onto my laptop and then save it to an external drive? And I saved them as projects. And then I got home and was like, well, how do I export this now? Like, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, no, I do not know how to use fucking Reaper.
I used it once. Just once. And so, like, I didn't pay for it because you can use it once without paying. I was like, if I was using it on a daily basis, I would buy it.
Without paying for it.
Yes. I think that's true, right? They trust you, like, please pay if you're going to, but we trust you. Like, be honest.
Yeah, it's like shareware. It's very cool.
If I was going to use it more than the one time I did or the one weekend, but, like, I'm not using it. I haven't touched it since last December.
Like to me, it's rocket science compared to, like, other things like Logic or Pro Tools.
It all seems great. Like, I tried to record once using GarageBand, like, when I had my electronic kit that I got during COVID. My wife got me an electronic kit. And it's just all, like, you need to get a MIDI. I was like, I don't even know what a MIDI is. I played drums. You know, I was at RPM Fest and people were selling these things, and I was like, and it said carved wood. I was like, what is that? It's like, oh no, we give away carved wood when you buy one of these pedals. I'm like, oh, I thought those were paperweights. I play drums. I don't know what that shit is, and I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
You know, so I'm not a Luddite except when it comes to musical instruments because I play drums.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of drummers. I am a drummer myself, but I'm very...
You're not allowed to be that too. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I just need to be these things sometimes. I am out of practice, though. I will say that.
I get that.
I could rehearse more.
What is your goal? Like, I know you have a real full-time job. I know you play amazing music. Well, like, where do you want to take this recording engineering? Like, do you want to have your own studio, like an actual one outside of your home? Not that one in your home is not actual. Don's the entire records in his home is fucking actual. What is your thought? Like, what's the future hold for you? You think?
I'm cool with keeping on doing bigger projects at Nada, mixing stuff and mastering stuff here. I just like that I get to meet people and like hang out with them, and sometimes we just like really click, and it's cool to just like, I don't know, you see somebody who comes in with their music and they have like a vision.
Yeah.
And it's like you get to be like part of, if it were a painting, you get to help be part of what helps put that on the canvas.
Sure.
And then just knowing that you assisted in that, and you see the final one, you're like, oh my god, like especially with that Hell Beach record and stuff. And I don't know, the most rewarding part to me is seeing everybody happy at the end, making connections with new people, and just like I don't know, I just, it's why I love going to the bar. I like meeting new people, but this is a more productive way of that.
But I'm on the same line as that, right? Like, I love doing shows. I love meeting new people, whether I'm in a band or a promoter. But I also love going to a bar. I love the people that I meet there, and it's funny. I moved here like 3 years ago, and it took me about a year to start doing shows. And like, how'd you figure out where to do shows? I'm like, I went to bars. I hung out. Yeah. I met the servers. I talked to the people, and I just generally talk. I mean, it's hard to learn new things if you don't go places and meet people.
And I'll add to that you have to sometimes get out of a place where you feel comfortable.
Yes.
And once you do it enough, these places will start feeling comfortable.
Yes.
And you can, it's very important to get out of your little shell sometimes. If you can. I'm not saying that, everybody can. I know everybody's different, but if you can get to that point.
You and I are fairly gregarious. Neither one of us are shy or recalcitrant. Like, we're loquacious people that talk, and we're happy, and we're like, yeah! We're not easily offended. We're like, yeah, let's have a good time.
Exactly. That's my favorite thing to do, and I think that's the most important thing to take away from doing anything like this is that come record with me, let's have a good time. And I think that when we're having a session and we're all having fun, it's going to come out a lot better than if everybody's in a fucking piss poor, like, oh, I don't want to do it. If everybody's there ready to have fun, it's always going to be better. I'm not saying, like, get fucking blackout drunk.
No.
I will tell you to go home. I'll be like, you're fucking done. Or go lay down, and we'll bring you, like, some Tums and, like, a glass of milk or something. I don't know.
The last time I was in the studio, you ever heard of Locked in the Basement?
I don't think so.
It's in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's this dude, James Wolfe. Great fucking dude. He, out of the kindness of his heart, he brings bands down and records them in his basement for 15 minutes. He does 2 bands, and then he puts out a tape. He mixes it for free, he masters it for free, gives them the tapes for free. So he did a series of 10, so 20 bands total, and I released 1 song from each side, so 20 songs on a vinyl last year. And then he brought, when I was in Leave It Behind up here in New Paltz, we went down with RB and X, and I finally met him in person, and we hung out. And I hung out with RB and X. I love those dudes, and I love them as my band. And we hung out. We just chilled. It was just such a great experience. I wasn't even stressed because it's only 1 take. You have no choice. You play 15 minutes, and the tape runs out, and you're done. And that's it. And but just such a great guy. And he's like, I do this because I can't give people shows in my area. So this is how I can give back to my community that I love so much. And when I have bands like you and RB and X that come down are just great people, and we hang out, and you feed my dog, and we have some beers, and yada yada, it's like, it makes it all worthwhile. And I was like, what a great fucking dude. Just saying, like, it's the recordings. About that
feeling you get from doing it.
Yeah, and the love, I think, comes across in the recordings. The sound is raw, but it's raw love. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool,
like,
though,
it's just raw love, and it's just a great thing to do. Like, what an amazing thing to do for people just because you love your scene. Yeah,
I mean, and you know what? You have to.
Yeah,
because you'll nobody's making money. So
no.
If you see somebody that's trying to do it, that's probably emo night with some schmucko from fucking. And I don't care. I'm gonna say it, right? I don't care. I've had 1 beer and I'm ready to get serious. The emo nights, it's hilarious to me. I'm sorry, I got to go off on this thing. The emo nights are hilarious. It's like all the people who used to make fun of us in high school for the music we listened to and the way we dressed, going to see a guy who used to make fun of us for the music we listened to and the way we dressed, playing that music in a giant bar with like a $20 cover. And it was like...
Yeah, no, I understand.
Bands still play, and they probably play in the venue that is hosting this emo night as well.
Yep. But, no, and like, it's...
Don't get me started. It'll turn to capitalism and attack. It's nostalgia. I will go deep.
Look, I'm a DC ethic guy, right? Like, people ask me why I do what I do, and I was like, I'm a history teacher, and I'm from the DC area, and like Discord, I want to document the scene. That's what I do sometimes. I do bands that have never left their hometown. Like, I don't know if General Grievance is ever going to leave New York. I know they played New York City a couple times. Sure. But, like, for all I know, that's all they're ever going to do. I've known bands that have done. Hopefully, but I don't care, is what I'm trying to say. They might tour to California, so fucking great. But, like, I put out bands by people I like, music I like, because I want to help people out and just do those great things. And I don't make money at it. Each record pays for the next. I'm not rolling. It's like, oh, you put out so many records, you must make a lot of money. I was like, no. That's not how it works.
Like, hey, do you know how much it costs to put out a record? Come here, sit down.
Yeah. This is like my hobby, Like, I looked, I was like, oh, how much money did I lose last year? I was like, well, if I was golfing all the time, I probably would have spent as much money golfing, right? Or skiing or something like that.
All right. Yeah.
You know, you just look at it like, well, you know. I mean, I remember going back when I was like 16 or 17, and I did like my first run. My dad's like, did you make any money playing, you know, Philly, Boston, New York City, coming home to DC? I was like, no. He's like, well, why was it worth it then? I was like, well, I mean, I played with bands I would have paid to go see. I got to play myself. I met super dope ass people. I got gas money every night. You went skiing for 3 days. How much money did you make, Dad? Yeah. Like, why is that sort of experience valid?
I don't know.
But like, if music doesn't make money, it's not valid.
To add to that, you know, like you'll meet people who will be your friends for life.
Yes.
Sometimes you'll have stories that are absolutely insane.
Yes.
Like I have enough stories to fill like a 800-page book.
Yes.
For doing this for just a little bit over a decade, and it's so much fun. And when you talk to somebody else who's been through those kind of things, you can commiserate on all this like wild fucking shit.
Yes.
You know. And it's cool, man. It's cool to like live life as like a wild man.
Yeah. And they're there for you whenever you need it. Like, I don't know if you know Gary from Soji in Philadelphia. He's one of like a half dozen singers of Common Enemy. I hadn't talked to him in probably 8 years. And then when Colin Dead was going on tour from Florida and needed a show in the Pennsylvania area, I was like, hey, Gary, long time no chat. He's like, Scott, my brother, what can I do for you? And he hooked me up because that's what you do.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk every day, but the minute you come back into my sphere and you need me, I'll be there for you the same way you'll be there for me. I can't talk to everybody I've met over the course of 25, 30 years of doing this. But when I talk to you, it's sincere, and I mean it, and it has more value than money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
You can't put a dollar price on that kind of stuff.
You can't.
No.
So.
Because, you could live your life toiling away somewhere and say, oh, look at all this cash I amounted. And you go, well, okay. Was it fun? No. Well, do you have any stories? Well, no. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the human experience, I think, is what's been the most important. We live, I'm not going to harp on it, in a capitalist society that kind of values wealth over a lot of everything else.
Sure.
And,
well, you need money to a point. Like,
sure.
Like, you're charging people for your time because your time is worth it, right? You are charging people.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's reasonable just because who you are.
I'll work with whatever. Because I want to work with people so bad. I'm like, you tell me what your budget is, and let's like work something out.
See, and that's
very. I just want to be paid for my time, but also be able to be accessible to people.
That's like Phil from RB&X, right? Like he'll do sound for me for free. He's recorded bands for me for free and done mixing and mastering. But he also knows, he's like, I can call out to Scott and say, Scott, can you help RB&X find shows for this 3-day weekend? And I'll do that. And I'll help him out. That's
also something else. It's like trades.
Yeah.
Like my friend Brad, I have a new record that's coming out December 5th.
Okay.
Dirt Handsome Volume 1. I'm gonna push it. I don't care. But December 5th, get ready. That's the release date. But he, helped me with this record and didn't ask for anything in return. And, he hit me the one day. He's like, I'm trying to do my own album with all this stuff. He's like, can you help me mix it? And I was like, what? I was like, man, let me just mix it for you. I was like,
Yeah.
He wanted to do it himself, and I sent him a mix that I made. But I have a lot of plugins that he doesn't have. And when I sent him the project back in Logic, he's like, yeah, this sounds like ass. It doesn't sound like your mix. I was like, well, it's not the plugins that I use. You could probably find some that are comparable, but I told him, I was like, listen, I'd be more than happy to do this for you. You helped me out, and you come and be my guy. And shout out to him, Drum Boy Advance. I'm having fun working on that stuff. That's recorded by Sean. The drums are all recorded by Sean Paul at Nada Recording Studio.
And Sean Paul's in. Isn't Sean Paul in a band? Is he in Nightmares for a Week?
Yeah.
Or is he in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did a show for him once. Great fucking band.
Oh, I love them. I love him so much. He's a good friend of mine, Sean Paul.
Really nice dude.
Oh, he's very funny. We always have like the best. Like whenever I'm at Nada, I like to record at Nada just because I like to hang out with these guys, and I like to record bands there because, it's cool when those guys pop in and we're recording. And people are like, "Oh, look, it's John." I'm like, "Get this goofy fucking guy out of here." I like to play it up. Like every time John enters the studio, it's like, "Oh fuck, here he is." We can't have fun.
Here he
now.
is.
Yeah. No, but it's incredibly fun, and like I just doing this, like I get to meet so many cool people.
Yeah.
Who I never would have had any relationship with otherwise, and I love every angle of what we do here, So this is just another one that is very important to me, and
I am so excited. I don't know how I didn't know this side of what you did, right? It's not like we never talk. But like somehow I just didn't know this.
I only started doing it like on a more professional level 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. See, but you don't have anything like I scroll through your Instagram. You don't post, "Hey, I'm recording such and such." Like I was trying to I was like, oh, his Instagram is like, it never mentions anyone. He's like, I don't know. There's a little tracks. I'm like, oh, he's recording himself. That doesn't count. Okay, next. Like I couldn't find any record of you doing this.
I'm also just bad at like social media.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I want to do for anything. It just sucks the soul out of me. Like, oh man, I could be like, oh, guess what, guys? Me and this band just recorded the song of the summer, and it's just like
I can't do that.
It's such disposable forms of. I don't even want to use the word content because I don't like that. Like, I don't. I feel like the way that the language has changed is to devalue the art itself. When it's called content or a product, I don't want anything to do with it. When it's called art or music, yes, I love that.
Yes, and I remember when I first started this record label, I think it was probably like the third record in, and I realized that my opposition to social media, my opposition to advertising besides just passing out flyers, needed to change. Because now bands were trusting in me to make their music heard. And that recording it and putting it out was only part of the process. And that the only way that somebody in Missouri was going to hear about this record and buy it is if I did this. So I literally took a class on social media marketing. I resisted it.
Sure.
But then I realized I had a responsibility to the bands I work with.
And that's the one thing that I don't like is that you have to do it no matter what, because no matter how you feel, this is the objective reality of the world. Because
I do ads in Razor Cake and New Noise and Scene Point Blank, and I do flyers and I do email blasts for people that but I guarantee you when I have a record come out that most of the people hear about it via social media. I have a distributor, but even if they buy 15 of a record, well, I mean, maybe there's that 5 record stores in all of North and South America and Europe that bought it, and they each got 3 record. That's not exactly getting it in the hands of people, right?
Yeah.
So it's a two-edged fucking sword.
It's just like a struggle from the DIY perspective to do any of this and not lose your fucking mind.
Yep.
We can say that on YouTube.
Oh,
right? We can say
you can fucking say that. Yeah. We can say fuck. I put it that way.
I don't know what the rules are. They change the rules every 3 days.
I mean, World Sucks wants to get rid of everything, and on one level, I immediately respect and admire them for wanting to. On the other level, it's well, they also want to play bigger shows and play festivals, and unfortunately, festivals are going to look at that shit.
Oh yeah, they're going to find your.
And if you don't have followers and views and you don't have listens, if they've never heard of you, that's how they're going to judge you because they haven't heard of you. If they've heard of you, that's different. If you're able to like just tour nonstop and get your word of mouth out there and just be known just for that.
That's hard now though too.
Oh, it is.
Because it was always hard to tour and get people out to the shows, but like even now, like I did that long tour with the Public Servants last year.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good shows, but you just kind of get a better temperature on the rest of the country, and you're like, oh man, like things are. I think that was the first tour I did after the pandemic. No, I did two with my band.
Yeah.
With my solo band, but yeah, you kind of get a feeling that like, man, something's different here. Something's kind of wrong. It doesn't feel right.
And it's hard to know. And I book tours for bands, and I'm finding I have to book tours 5 months out now. And that's really hard to book 5 months out.
Well, you get the venue that says, we don't book that far out. And you get the venue that says, oh, we only book 6 months out.
Yes. Like, literally I'm booking for RBNX and Negative Racks, and I think January, 3rd, someone already has booked.
Yeah.
Like, it's January fucking 3rd. Like, that's 4 months. That's 4 months. I mean, I started on this a couple weeks, so it's like, that's 4 months from now. So, like, yeah, we booked 5 months out. I was like, it's you have to get bands that decide they're going to go on tour 5 months in advance. Like, you can barely get bands that schedule band practice next week.
I mean, you could barely find a band that's going to stay together. That's going to be guaranteed still together in the next 5 months. It is my experience. It's hard to keep a band together,
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's a lot because of the age that we're at. And not everybody wants to sleep on a floor or a cheap room in a motel or, play to empty rooms some night. I don't mind, man.
I don't either. I'm telling you, I'm almost at that stage where I can do a long tour with you, soon. Not quite there yet.
All right, I'll start booking.
But we would get along.
5 months from now.
5 months out.
Ready? Yeah.
I am this close to finishing my PhD, so let me just.
Oh, good. So you could be our doctor on tour too.
I'm not that kind of doctor.
Everybody gets sick.
I can talk to you about graphic novels and how to engage in historical empathy for marginalized histories if you want.
Well, good. You know why? Because most of the problems I have on tour is anxiety, and if you talk to me about something boring like that, it would calm me down.
Boring? How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm almost done with this.
No, I get it. I get it.
Getting frisky.
No, anxiety I get.
That kills me on tour. That's like the killer.
Yeah. I'm pretty stable on tour. I've always been the stable tour person. I
gotta learn how to do that, man. Yeah. Because
I don't overdrink. I don't do drugs. I'm really polite, and I don't really get angry. So, and I'm never nervous about anything. I think everything just works out. Everything just always works out.
Yeah.
When I was on tour with Colin Dead, I was like, hey, we should just go to this venue. We already get a free meal. It's like, but Loden's not so sick. We'll just go at 4. He's like, well, what if they're offended? I was like, well, if they say no, we just go somewhere else. It'll work out. I was like, don't say that. You always say that everything works out. Everything doesn't always work out, Scott. I was like, or does it? It just doesn't work out the way you want it to.
Well, yeah.
But it works out.
Kind of the thing.
It doesn't always work. But nothing's ever that bad.
That's the music way. I'm always like, well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Worst thing that usually happens on tour is a show gets canceled. That sucks. But you know what? You deal with it. you can flip out or you just go, okay.
I don't know, go to Taco Bell, chill.
Yeah.
Let's use the merch money to get really fat.
Yeah. Go get a cat puzzle. Yeah. Go to a hotel room, watch CSI, drink some beer.
Yeah, let's smoke
your cat
puzzle. Play
it's fine.
Magic cards. Yeah. Who cares?
It is what it is. Just take it for what it is. You're in a new town you've never been to. Enjoy the town.
I do like that. I love just getting dropped off, sitting at the hotel, and I'll just be like, well, what's near here? And I'll try to find my buddy, whoever is in the band. We're like, all right, where are we going? You want to go to get some margaritas?
Yeah.
That's always my go-to. It's like, there's got to be a Mexican restaurant near here, no matter where we are in the United States. And I'm like, we'll get some fucking margaritas. We'll fucking have a good time. We'll get a little.
I can drink margaritas. I don't drink margaritas at home anymore. So my kids will tell you that the only time they've seen me drunk was margaritas.
Okay.
So we were on a cruise and there was like a Margaritaville and it was like at a pool and I had like 3 perfect margaritas, which I guess are just all liquor, like there's no mix. And I felt great until I didn't feel great. And I was walking my youngest kid back to the boat because my older kid and my wife were off doing whatever. And I got her into the room, and then I fell asleep. And then I got woken up and immediately vomited into like a garbage can. And my wife's like,
never a good time.
Where's your daughter? I was like, where's my daughter? Yes, where's your daughter? I was like, where's my daughter? And then she popped up under the blankets like, there she is. Like, you had no idea. I was like, yeah, I did not remember getting back to the room. I mean, I did. And so I said, I was like, I don't do that. I was like, that's the one time. Yeah. And all my like 15, 16, 17 years now of having kids, I'm like, nope, I can't do that. I'm too. I have children. That was one time I can
feel that hot headache that you felt. That hot headache that's just here. People are talking to you. You don't understand what the fuck they're saying. You're trying to like put things together. Like everything's coming together in a blur. And then you're like, huh? Oh, no, I didn't take a shit in the fucking trash can at Waffle House, did I?
Did I do that?
Like,
I don't remember
that was
doing
a dream. That. Oh.
Did I tell you? It's like, yeah, you told me this last time. I was like, when? It was like 5 times. So I was like, oh, yeah. That was a long time ago. So.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. We try and keep these to about an hour, and sure. I think you have shared an amazing amount of information. For those of you out there,
for another 3 hours probably.
I could chat with you all day long, but I don't know if anyone wants to listen to that. We're gonna do that on our own. We got to hang out.
Yeah.
So we were just chatting. I could just hang with you all night long. But I need to eat some dinner, but anyone else that's in this area, you should all like reach out to Bobby Edge. I'll put all the information on the Spotify, the YouTube, all that other bullshit that you can listen to it, and say, hey, we want to record with you, and give Bobby your love. Oh, he's leaving now. Like, I end the podcast, he just gets up and walks away. Doesn't even fucking say goodbye. He just gets up and walks away. Where is he? For those of you not watching on YouTube, he is not there. He's literally just gone. Okay, now he's back. I was like, I don't have object permanence. It's like I'm a 5-year-old.
I don't have a website or anything. I don't want to do that. I want to do just like word of mouth.
All right, what does that say?
Friends. Bobby Edge? Buttertone Studios. I call it Buttertone because my kitchen is behind me here.
Oh, very nice.
As you can see, that's way more organized because my wife is. Like,
you don't even mention like. So you're not going to do social media for your studio. You're going to keep it all just like word of mouth.
Eventually, I probably will have to.
You'll have to.
Why? But for now, it's keep it, business card, word of mouth.
Okay, so everyone, once again, you might not have caught all that. Something happened, it all got cut out, but we're back again briefly.
My dog was barking really
loud. The dog was barking loud. Thank you all so much for listening, watching. Thank you, Bobby. Dude, I love you, man. It's always such a pleasure chatting with you. And the fact that I've now talked to you, like, for an extensive amount of time, like, twice in 1 week, it's just a delight. And I'm going to see you again, like, very soon. Like, almost back-to-back weekends in September and October. So, like, I am super stoked for seeing you. And I can't wait to hear some of the new shit you're working on, brother, man. Both for your music and for the stuff you're recording. So, like, you do a solid-ass fucking job, motherfucker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Bye.